get your rock. I'm gonna get it. Get your rock. Kobe, I'm gonna get your rock. Oh, it's just a rock, Kobe. Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. You give me that rock. Yo, man. Hey guys, welcome back to St. Isidore's Farm on what is really a pretty gray, dreary, rainy day, but we'll take it. We need rain in the winter too. One of the things I talk to my students about all the time is being intentional, and that's a word they have heard me say more than a few times. And that's okay. If they remember that I said that, that would be great, because I think far too many people just go through the motions of life rather mindlessly, not thinking about the what and the how, but more importantly even the why of nearly everything that they do in life. So of late, something I've been talking about is happiness as a goal in life, something that we think all hope for, aspire to, would like to obtain. And that there is actually something that we can do very intentionally to help or have a better chance of achieving happiness, and that's being grateful. That gratefulness leads to happiness. As Cicero said, gratefulness is actually the cornerstone of all virtue. And in talking about this with students even this past week, found this video by a brother David, who's a Trappist monk, talking about this very thing, about how gratefulness leads to happiness. If you've never seen this before, I highly recommend it. It is a really terrific video. But in these regards, you got to practice what you preach. So going into 2018, one of the things we're hoping to do out here is just be more intentional about what we're doing. Now, in our own defense, much of what we have had to do on this farm is, well, we're restoring a farm, and some of our time and energies has just been driven by what is an immediate need and also what we had money for and could afford to do. So as you've seen in a couple of recent videos, been talking about this idea, again, being intentional of spending 1 hour a day working on projects. Sometimes the big projects get put off because they think, well, we need a lot of time to do it. So we're trying to do that. Also, though, in terms of videos for our channel, thinking through trying to upload a video every week instead of so randomly and whenever we happen to put one together. Looking forward, the big projects that we're going to be getting back to is this greenhouse. So talking about our channel, the very first video that we made and uploaded was actually about this greenhouse. And you can see that video here. It's the greenhouse part 1. And then we went, it's 2 years later and there's been no part 2. In fact, as I was coming out to shoot this video, got a comment on that video, where is part 2? Well, again, this is something that we started, and then truthfully, it was easy enough to get the structure up, but boy, the other stuff that goes into a greenhouse is really expensive to do it right. And other things took priority. And for us, a greenhouse is going to be something that's going to have a fairly small window of time where we're using it. But so many other things like the Quonset hut, we use those all the time. So we've put more time, effort, and energy into those projects than this one. But our son joined the Future Farmers of America at school, and through the FFA, they have a grant program for SAE, Supervised Agriculture Experiences. Well, he put together a proposal and was awarded a grant from the California Certified Organic Farmers, CCOF, $1,000 to restore this greenhouse. And that is really exciting. We're really excited not only to have the greenhouse restored, but for the other part of his proposal, which is that he wants to start a business from our farm where he's going to raise vegetable starch. So, a lot of folks in the late spring and early summer will go to the big box stores or their hardware store or maybe even outside their grocery store and buy those already started small plants, tomatoes, peppers, and other things to put in their garden. Well, his thought is to start organic and heirloom vegetable starts, things that people would not be able to get in those places, and perhaps come out to our farm for open houses in the late spring, here, the right time here, right after the frost in North Carolina, and have a much more diverse offering of plants that people could do. So in order to do that, he has to restore this. So we're really very grateful to CCOF for their support, and we'll be bringing everybody along as we do this project. So it's got to happen on a timeline. So really in February, got to start this and get seeds into pots and all of that in order to hit certain marks. So anyways, we'll be bringing everybody along on that. So what is our thinking on finishing this greenhouse and what we're going to do? Well, the most immediate challenge thing we're thinking through right now is, do we kind of follow a model that LDS Prepper, if you look at this video on his channel, of using a geothermal, digging down, putting black drain pipe, and there's a certain amount that you have to put in, at least, well, 4 or 5 feet under the ground, but ideally 8 feet under the ground, and take advantage of the more consistent temperature underneath the ground and moving air through those pipes in order to help regulate temperature in the greenhouse. We're trying to sort of go through whether we're going to do this or not, because it's going to mean coming in with a tractor and come through here and dig this out, get the pipes in, and we would have to do this really, really quickly. And that's obviously going to take some time. Don't know if we can do it, but it's one of those things, if we don't do it now, it'd be really hard to do later. So see what happens on that, what we decide. But what we're looking to do is, obviously we've got to get end walls in here, a lot of boards. We're going to redo the electric service. We're going to have electric running down the center on sort of a ridge board. So we'll have lighting up here, possibly a ceiling fan. We'll have vents on one end, a vent fan, and vents on the other end. Obviously I have to get the plastic in here. Then we're going to run tables down the side. Previous owners had, as best we could figure, 15 tables inside of this structure. When they sold this property, they got rid of everything. And those tables and some of the structure that was here was all that was left. So Isaac spent last Sunday pulling all the wire off of those tables to reuse that. So that's a blessing, is that we can repurpose some of those and not have to spend that money. So we'll rebuild at least 8 tables in here. So we're going to run 4 tables down each side. And then we'll probably put 2 raised beds down the middle of the greenhouse so that we can also take advantage of it and grow some things in here as well. So that's what's going to be coming up, and we'll hopefully keep kind of going back and forth between working in the Quonset hut in upcoming videos, but beginning to start restoring this greenhouse. All right, well, it's starting to rain a little bit harder, and so we're gonna head inside, try and get this video edited and see if we can get it uploaded tomorrow. Hope everyone had a really terrific week, and blessings to everyone for the week ahead. Until the next video from here at St. Isidore's Farm, take care and God bless. Did you not find it? So we're on the flight path to the international airport. So especially today, because of the clouds, they are flying really low, coming in really low to land. All right, so where was I?